Welcome! Today we're going to dive into one of the most powerful ways to find a little peace in our crazy, hectic lives, travel. And I'm not just talking about a vacation. We're going to explore how a simple change of scenery can be a real, genuine pathway to restoring your inner calm. So, let's get into it.
You know that feeling, right? The endless notifications pinging, the to-do lists that just keep growing in your head, that constant background hum of being on. It's that feeling where, even when you're supposed to be resting, your mind is just still running a marathon.
So here's our game plan for this explainer. First, we'll unpack the weight of modern life. Then, we'll see why travel is the ultimate reset. After that, we'll look at the actual science of serenity, and finally, we'll build a practical blueprint for how you can find your own personal sanctuary. Okay, first up, let's set the stage. To really get why the solution works, we have to understand the problem, and that's the sheer weight of modern life and that deep down feeling we all get of needing to escape. This right here, this is the modern condition in a nutshell. Our nervous systems are pretty much in a constant state of high alert, and that's not just tiring, it actively fuels anxiety and completely shatters our focus. What we end up craving isn't another productivity hack, it's just a moment of real, meaningful stillness.
Okay, so if that's the problem, what's the fix? Well, that brings us to the ultimate reset button: travel. We're gonna see why changing your scenery is so much more than just a holiday. For a lot of us, it's a therapeutic necessity.
And this comparison really gets to the heart of it. You know, trying to rest at home, it often doesn't work because you're literally surrounded by all your stress triggers. But travel, it's a powerful antidote. It gives your brain novelty, which releases dopamine, forces you to mentally detach from your worries, and allows for real recovery. And this is exactly why travel is basically a natural form of mindfulness. Think about it. When you're in a new place, you're almost forced to pay attention to the little things. The new sights, the smell from a local bakery, the sound of a different language. It yanks you right into the here and now, which, at its core, is what finding calm is all about. So this all sounds pretty great, but is it just a feeling? Or is there any actual proof? Oh, absolutely. Let's get into the science of serenity and look at the real, tangible benefits of getting away from it all. You know, it's a beautifully simple biological process. When you get out into a natural setting, a forest, the coast, anywhere like that, your body just immediately responds. Your cortisol levels, that's your main stress hormone, they start to drop. And what happens then? Your blood pressure lowers, and your mood actually measurably improves. For anyone living in a city, this isn't just nice, it's a lifeline. And check this out, it gets even cooler when you look at the brain. New environments literally give your hippocampus, that's the part of your brain that handles memory and emotions, a workout. And this exercise strengthens its ability to regulate your emotional responses, which makes you more resilient to stress long after you've come home. All right, so we get the why now. Let's switch gears to the how. This section is your practical blueprint, full of actionable advice on how to actually design your travels so you get the maximum mental and emotional restoration. And the best part is, this is totally doable. You don't need to go on some month-long trek. Even a short weekend break can work wonders. Just try to prioritize nature. Travel light, and I mean that for your suitcase and your mental baggage. And this is a big one. Put the phone away. Really, go on a digital detox. And finally, be really intentional about where you stay. Speaking of prioritizing nature, there is one place that has captivated us for centuries. Writers, artists, they've long known that the sea has this unique healing power. This idea of the coast as a place of rebirth and mystery really sets the perfect tone as we look at a real-world example. So, to bring all these ideas down to earth, let's look at a case study. Margate. It's this amazing sanctuary on the Kent coast that just perfectly embodies these principles. You've got that calming natural beauty of the sea, but it's also got this vibrant creative energy. And the fact that it's so easy to get to from London just proves you don't have to go to the ends of the earth to find peace. And that brings us to our final piece of the puzzle. And honestly, this might be the most crucial part. The journey to inner calm doesn't just stop the moment you arrive. It continues in the place you choose to call your temporary home. I know what you might be thinking. As long as it has a bed, does it really matter where you stay? Well, it turns out that this one choice can be the very thing that makes or breaks a truly restorative trip. Because here's the thing, your accommodation isn't just a base of operations. It's the environment that's meant to support the peace you've been looking for all day. It sets the entire tone for your downtime, your moments of quiet reflection, and your ability to truly, finally unwind.
So let's look at what this means in practice. There's a hotel in Margate called Unico Hotels, which is distinguished as a kosher standard hotel. What that means is they blend modern luxury with a deep cultural sensitivity. Now, for a Jewish traveler, that attention to detail completely removes a whole layer of stress, providing this sense of trust and care that allows for true relaxation.
At the end of the day, a truly restorative trip is a whole package. The peace you find walking on the beach has to be preserved in the place you rest your head. It's all about making sure that feeling of calm extends into every single moment of your stay.
And that leaves us with one final question. We've explored the why, we've explored the how, and we've seen what a real sanctuary can look like. So the question I have for you is, what journey will you take to find your calm?